Howdy folks. In today's video we're going to attempt to finish up this quilt. I was filming, or I thought I was filming, but my computer locked up on me, so I got this row here that is on the deal, row 7, done before I noticed that the computer froze up. So this is the order that the blocks are in, and this is what it looks like. Oopsie. So we're going to continue on now with the next row, which I started on. When I noticed that my computer had froze up. So that would be row 8. And before I forget, I've wanted to say this in every video I've done so far, and I keep forgetting. People keep asking me where I got my apron, and I keep forgetting to tell you. Our friend Michelle at Michelle's Craft and More YouTube page makes aprons, and she made this one for me, and it's reversible, so you've seen me wearing both sides. So I wanted to remember to tell you that, so you can, if you're wanting an apron like this, it's a really nice one. It has the 2 pockets, and the pockets are on both sides. It's one of those that wraps all the way around you, but when it opens up in the back, so when I sit down, I don't sit on it. Makes it handy for going to the restroom too. I wear aprons to keep the strings and stuff off of my clothes because, like my friend Lisa, the awkward quilter, I don't want to be shedding threads all over the house. So anyway, I wanted to tell you that, and what I was trying to tell you once, or when I noticed that the computer had froze up, was that I just discovered that my stiletto has a metal inside. I knew something was hard in there, but I just thought it was a silicone stiletto for helping with pressing. But I have a metal stiletto. Yay! Anyway, let's get on with this quilt. So we're going to do row 8, and we're going to start with, let's see, I've already got D. I'm trying to read this backwards. Get my pattern out here. C. We start with C, and then go to D, C, D, C, D, and A. So here we go. Cold down here in Texas today. It started out in the 60s and went down to the 30s. Sun shining though, so hopefully it'll warm up a little bit. When my computer froze up, I discovered that it was because I had too much stuff, mostly videos, on here, and I needed to clean it up, so I did that. And I discovered some videos that I had forgot I made, and before I get rid of them, I wanted to know if you guys might be interested in seeing them, so put down in the comments. I know this is mostly quilting and crafts, but these videos were, one of them was processing rosemary, the herb. One of them was, I think my honeybees in my tree was, I already have on there. But I've got several, like canning and different things that I do. Might be some of my rabbits. And anyway, if you're interested in more than just quilting, let me know in the comments, and I'll post some of those videos so I don't have to, well, I can put them on YouTube. I can just leave them private. But anyway, if you're interested, let me know. And I'm sorry I'm rambling, but that's just the way it is. I just had an egg sandwich, so I have a little bit of energy going here. Plus, I know it's cold, but I made myself a big iced coffee. It's got Cinnabon creamer in it, so I'm a little bit on the hyper side. I posted a link, I can't remember if it was yesterday or today, but I found this channel on YouTube. It's called Royalty Free Music for YouTube. And so I've got some feedback from some people that really like music with the videos and some people that don't. So I'm trying to keep it on low enough that it doesn't disturb the ones that don't. And hopefully the ones that do can hear it. It's hard to keep everybody happy, so I'm going to try to keep me happy, and hopefully some of you will enjoy what I do. Had quite a day yesterday. I lost one of my hearing aids and I couldn't find it, and found it early this morning. Today the computer froze up, so getting content out to you hasn't been an easy thing to get done, but I'm bound and determined I'm going to do it. Part of my hearing loss is because I have what sounds like crickets chirping in my ear constantly, and even with my hearing aids, I still hear the crickets even louder. So I have to have constant sound, or otherwise I'll go bonkers. I have to even sleep with sound playing in my ears all the time. That's how I wear out headsets, is because I sleep with them on. And well, come on. Now I got. Okay. I don't know if you can hear this music, but it's stuff that I downloaded a long time ago from YouTube Studio, back when they first put it on. So I don't know if this is a sanctioned channel by YouTube or if somebody made it up. I'm not sure how it works. All I know is it's royalty free and it's okay to use on YouTube. So anyway, look on my post, I think it was yesterday, if you're interested in the background music for your videos or lives. I know I've seen people, I've been on lives when they said, I wish I could play music in the background while we're, sewing or chatting or whatever. So for me, it just makes it easier because I don't have to add the music in after the fact when I'm editing. I can just, whatever happens, happens. And it saves me a lot of time and effort in the editing process. Whoops, almost forgot my leader, or ender, or whatever you want to call it. It's going to be an interesting pixel quilt. I have no pattern in mind. I'd probably just sew it together and see what happens. Okay, we have this row done. I will press it and add it to the next row, and we'll move on to row 9. That gives us 2 rows left to do, and at the end of the video I uploaded earlier today, I showed you what rows 1 through 6 look like. So by the end of this video, hopefully I'll be able to show you what the whole entire quilt looks like before borders. I am going to add borders to mine, but I don't know if I will show you that process or just show you what it looks like after I'm done. I haven't decided yet. It depends on how long this video is. So I'll see you back in a bit. I just found block A over on my ironing station, so I'm going to go ahead and add that on to the end of this row before I move on. That would have been a oopsie. Come back here. Okay, see you back in a little bit again. In my last video, I showed you how that I did my pinning, but I want to show you a close-up. I'm not going to pin this whole thing and bore you with that, but I wanted to show you when I pin, I'm matching up a seam here. Make sure that it matches. Then you can feel that it's nested. I take my pin from the, I've got the two seams facing toward me. I've got the seam nested. I start in the seam that's on top, go in, and then come out on the seam that's on the bottom. That holds them together. And then as I sew across them, when I get to this pin, I can slide it this way just enough that I can get past it without removing it. And that way, I don't have to worry about it slipping or anything. Now on seams like this that don't have anything to match, you can decide whether you want to pin or not. I just pin so that I can make sure that the seam stays down. So I'll go through this and pin it and get them these two rows sewn together. When I pressed, I made sure that I pressed in opposite directions so that I could nest. Now you're going to have so many seams in this pattern to match because of the nature of the pattern that sometimes you're going to just have to flip a seam. And when I have to flip a seam, say I were to flip this one and it's already sewn down, I would come in here before I press and clip the seam and fold it over and then press. Just make sure you don't press or clip all the way down to the threads. And I do it underneath the seam so that when I quilt, it's going to be covered in, the quilting is going to cover it to help it protect it from raveling. So that's a few tips. When I think of more, I'll tell you. Back in a bit. Okay, I had one more thing I wanted to show you before I move on to the next row. Once I sew the two rows together, before I press, I inspect to make sure all of my points are matching up. And if I find one that doesn't, like this one, I fix it before I press, because I'm going to have to, I'll rip out from right here to somewhere in here, and then I'll sew it from the opposite direction that I just finished sewing from. That way the feed dogs will help to push it along a little bit. I'll probably, let's see, I'll stop somewhere in here because this is off just a hair too. The rest of them are fine. So I'm going to fix this. I'm going to rip it out, then I'm going to come back and show you how I sew it from the opposite direction, and that should fix the problem. If it doesn't, then we'll keep trying. And if I don't get it right after the third try, I just let it go, because in all reality, when this is quilted, you're not going to see all that. And if it wasn't for the fact that I'm making it for, well, for two reasons, for the pattern book and for an honored veteran that deserves a perfect quilt, as perfect as I can get it anyway. So anyway, excuse me, I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, now I've just got a short spot that I'm going to be sewing from this seam to this seam. And I don't need to start and sew all the way down here, so I'm going to pull my thread out, and I'm going to find the seam where I'm starting. I'm going to do a back stitch, and this time I'm going to pull these pins, since I know that that is a problem area, because I want to feel those things. And with the pins there, I can't feel them. So I'll leave it in up until I get to it. Pull the pin. Make sure the seams are nested. I have to manipulate these seams just a little bit. And then I'm going to lift my presser foot, pull the strings out. And grab a few stitches. Cut my threads. So I'm going to press these and then I'll set up for the next row, which is row 9. I already hit set up for it. I'll be back in a little bit. Before I move on, I wanted to show you how I set up a row before I start sewing, because I know there's at least 2 or 3 people on here that are new to quilting and may not know how to do this. So bear with us for those of you that already know. But I went to my pattern, which I've got the blocks up here for you, and I saw that I needed 3 D's, 3 C's, and B1. So I grabbed all of that, and now I start at the back of that row, which is the B1. And the reason I'm doing that is because I need this to be on the bottom. So I start with B1, then I go to C, and then D, and then C, and then D, C, and D. So we have one row after this one, and I've counted my blocks, and I see I have exactly, well, I have 1 extra D. It looks like there might be an extra something. I'm not sure. I can't read it from here. But I think it's an A. We need C2, D, C. Okay, no, this I've got an extra C and an extra D. So I will adjust that on my pattern so that when I send the pattern out, the cutting instructions will be right. Like I said before, you're testing along with me, so this is how I find out what's right and what's wrong. So anyway, I'm going to take just a short break so I can blow my schnauzer here, and then we'll get to sewing. Okay, we are ready for row 9. And here are our blocks. We start with D, then C, then D again, C again, D again, C again, and B1. So let's get started. It's getting late in the day and my shadows are changing. Well, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I don't know how to fix it. Anyway, I had to take a break because I got into a sneezing fit. Now I have the sniffles. Hopefully it's just allergies. I hope. Okay. I already did something wrong. Okay. Okay. What happens when you take a break? Forget what you're doing. Let's try this again. Sorry, I'm not talking, but my voice is about gone. I meant to trim these blocks up and I forgot, but that's okay. I can cut a straight line with scissors. Okay, that is row 9. And row 10, where did my paper go? It's right there. And I'm going to put you on pause while I gather up the... Okay, we're on our last row. And there's your setup there. And I'm going to get to sewing because this video is already long. I don't know how much longer my sinuses can go without having a sneezing fit again. Well, that cold front didn't last very long. It got up to almost 70 today. I'm taking some shortcuts because I have a feeling I'm not going to make it to the end here. Okay, how much bobbin do we have left? We have enough to finish this row anyway. I have some half square triangles in there, and I have to throw them out of the one pile and into another. They're little teeny tiny. About an inch and 3/4. Little mini half squares from something I was doing. They will get used at some point. Very little fabric gets wasted here, and I mean very little. Fabric's too precious and money's too tight. Although I just renewed my phone plan a while ago, and I got free Walmart Plus with it, and that came with a free Paramount Plus subscription. So now I get to watch Yellowstone. Blessings come when you least expect it. You may not think that's a blessing, but when all you have is YouTube to watch, that's a blessing. Get tired of all the negative stuff on YouTube these days. I just want some good old-fashioned entertainment. Present company excluded, of course. I love my quilting buddies. Okay, I am going to press this, connect these two rows to the next two, or the last two rows, and get all that pressed off camera. And then I'm going to take a picture and add it to the end of this. So I'm going to end me talking right now because I'm running out of talk. Running out of voice. I never run out of talk. But anyway, be blessed, less stressed, and pet some fabric today. Bye-bye.